Kira with Polymer Clay TV, and today I'm going to show you the easiest way ever to make a gorgeous nature-inspired texture sheet, and then give you some ideas on how to use it. Let's get started. This is a great time of year for this type of project because it's the last time that you may see green leaves or even brown and yellow leaves that are not yet all dried out. So I went outside and picked these. These are most likely a weed, but I picked a bunch of graduated sizes from the largest I could find to medium and small so that I can make a sort of pattern and get all the different sizes. And then I grabbed a bunch of scraps. This is a great way to use up silkscreen edges and just scrappy clay that are from other projects. So let's just roll this all up and condition it. So I've conditioned the clay, rolled it into a uniform color, mixed it all together, and rolled it to about a number 2 second setting on my pasta machine. And I'm going to put it on a piece of card just so that I can bake it without touching it and messing it up too much. And what I'm going to do now is start with the small leaves, and I'm just going to kind of press them up here and make good contact with the clay and layer them so that I'm creating, not a pattern really, but just getting those middle veins and setting them up so that I will see the edges. I mean, you can do this however you like. You can eventually maybe layer them kind of differently so that you're getting more, you know, like a whole leaf here, and then this, I'll just put this over the side here so that I'm getting a partial leaf. You can do this multiple times too, like, you know, you can go pick more leaves if you want a different pattern. But these are nice and deeply veined on the back, which is why I picked these out. But what I want when I'm done is to be able to press clay over this. I'm making a texture sheet basically, and pick up all these leafy textures for a project. So now I have empty spaces, and I'm just gonna do this. I want to see leaf there. I don't want to leave any of these spaces without that leaf pattern, so I'm just going to use this extra leaf to go around the edges and make sure that there is leaf pattern going to be displayed everywhere. See that? Up in this corner, there's still leaf pattern even though I don't have a leaf pressed there. And then with the rest of these, I'm just going to do a roll over with my rod to make sure that I've got nice, good, solid, deep impressions. And make sure that in all these spots I'm showing bits of leaf. It's really simple. And then I'm just gonna peel them up and bake this. You can do this with lots of different things from outside. It doesn't have to only be a leaf. You could find flower stems or weeds. I mean, whatever catches your attention outside you can use. Pods. You could just press them down and not stick them the way I have here. But I really like what's happening because I'm going to have this cool looking pattern, and then I'll also have little areas where I can catch almost a whole leaf to do like an earring or something. That's my intention with this little guy. That's why I put it down first, so that I can use this area here to make earrings later. This area also, and this nice big one here could be a pendant. You could also use the entire sheet to create a journal cover or an ornament or anything like that. So now this one here, I'm not happy. I'm not really exactly happy with how that turned out. I'm trying to find the leaf that I used. Yeah, this one, some of it didn't press down very well, so I'm going to do a little bit of pressing with my finger to just try to get some of that texture really good, because I want to be able to pick it up when I... Let me just show you a little troubleshooting thing here. See, when I pressed that leaf back down, I got sort of a double impression, and I'm not happy about it. So I'm using my finger to blend that double impression of especially the large veins, to blend them back down, because I'm going to try this again. You can also use a tool. This is our Sculpt and Smooth tool, and it's perfect for things like this, just to get into those spaces where my finger's a little too wide. I'm really only concerned with the large veins that double pressed. So I'm going to take this leaf and lay it back down here. I actually think I might use a different one. This one doesn't seem to want to leave a really fantastic impression. So I'm going to pick one that worked better doing, let's see, maybe this one. And I know I'm going to have to press out this center vein also because it's going in a different direction. I'm just going to use this leaf here and really press it down, because that other one just didn't make a good impression. So you don't have to stick with what you got, you can change it. That's way better. And then maybe you didn't get every little section, so you can just come back with another leaf and just make sure that you have that beautiful vein texture all over. So now I feel much better about that. So into the oven it goes. So here is our texture sheet. I'm just going to take it off the card so that I can use it. And here I have some copper powder. This is fine copper powder and a very soft brush. This is actually a squirrel hair brush from Utrecht, which I don't know if they exist anymore, but I've had this for a very long time. It's very soft. And this is one of my favorite things to do, is take some really nice powder and put it right on your texture sheet. And that way your whatever you put on here will release really easily. So it's like a release, and you can wash this off with water later, because this is, of course, baked polymer clay. So if you put paint on it, the paint will probably stick, but the powder you can just kind of scrub off. So now I have some scrap of this clay that just happened to be green when I rolled it out, and I'm just going to use these scraps to make some leaves, just by placing this here and giving it a firm roll over that powder. And there you go. And you can cut it out, make it into an earring or pendant, whatever you want. I don't want them to both be exactly the same, so I'm going to use these smaller leaves that I made next to each other to make two different ones. And I'm just going to use a flexible blade to cut them out, because I don't have a cutter shape that is a leaf, but that's really not super important. When you have a really nice flexible blade, you can make any leaf shape you want. So there's one. And then if you want them to be sort of the same, similar, you can Just make sure your bend is about the same when you go ahead and cut the second one. And you can, of course, pinch the edges or give them a little bit of curl, maybe prop them on something for baking, put a hole in there if you want to if you are making jewelry and you need to hang them. So there's so much you can do with a texture sheet like this. You can use the whole thing and do a box top or something like make a bracelet, use the big ones to make big pendants, use the whole thing to make a journal cover or a light switch plate. It's a really fun project for this time of year, like I said, you know, kind of capturing those last green leaves of the season, and you'll have a texture sheet you can keep forever. So using pigments and powders is always an awesome way to highlight texture, and Create Along is actually having a sale right now, 25% off our textures and pigments. So if you get our newsletter, you got a coupon code. The coupon code is only good for the rest of today, and it's 25 textures. It is November 7th, 2018. So if you're watching this later, that coupon won't be good. But come on over, check it out, and we're glad that you're with us on Polymer Clay TV. You can find way more projects, hundreds of projects, at polymerclaytv.com.